Hi friends, it's me, Christy, aka Little Tornado. So we are doing a project today, and this is my very first time trying to do a voiceover, so we'll see how it goes. So we have a little ghost here that I got from Dollar Tree, and I believe I already shown that I had a blank one. I've already painted this one with the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and now we are going in with the Waverly chalk paint in Elephant. It's been a while since I used my paints, so it looks like I had to stir it up a little bit more, just using a little flat tip pouncing chippy brush. I don't know all the technical terms for all my tools, I just use them. So right now we are just pouncing some of the elephant on our little ghost friend. And pouncy, pouncy, pouncy. Yeah, this might be a little humorous because, yeah, like I said, first attempt at this, and hopefully I will get better. I do see where I kind of got a bit blotchy in one little area with the elephant, so yes, looks like I'm going to go back over that with the ink just to try to kind of smooth that out a little bit. Okay, let's see what I'm going to do next. Okay, so even though I have proper tools, I have palettes. Okay, well, my mirror was kind of flipped funny, so flip that up for you guys. Yes, my workspace is a bit messy right now. I do need to work on that. Yeah, I started pouncing with the same tool that had the ink on it, so couldn't really see it. Or the elephant, I should say. This time I went in with, I started out with Folk Art Sterling Silver color 662 in their metallics, and I was trying that on there, but it was a bit watery. I probably added water to it at some point in time, and then I switched over to, again, it's Folk Art Sterling Silver, but this one is number 4695. It says multi-surface. So I grabbed some of that. It's also their metallic. I think the other one was just, a lot older. So I'm just pouncing some of that on there, even though it's not going to really technically look sterling silver. At the end, it just gives another little dimension to our little ghost friend here. And we're pouncing, pouncing, pouncing. Yeah, it looks like I went back in with some black, well, ink. Okay, that's where I came in with the watery sterling silver. Or no, I came back in with the watery sterling silver because I was thinking I was going to do the edges with that. Okay, I started out with my fingertips. That wasn't working out very well, so I went in with a smaller chippy brush. I'm just going around the edges. Just kind of a sweeping inward motion towards the inside of the ghost. La-di-da. Yes, I hate these quiet moments, but I'm just going back over areas that I feel like weren't good enough, I guess. Okay, I'm trying to use my finger, going in with the silver around the eyes. I ended up not really liking that very much, so I switched over to the Waverly color, ink color, and went in just the slightly right inside, you know, just the edges of the eyes and the mouth. I think at this point, no, I had not switched over. I had a really bad paintbrush, so okay, here it is. This is where I switched over to a better paintbrush, because the other one was just, my paintbrushes look horrible. I will admit it. I am horrible with paintbrushes. So that first one was a bit frayed and it just was not working for me. So I had to get a newer, better paintbrush. Okay, going in for a little bit of a close-up. I don't know how to adjust the different speeds, you know, slow down some parts, and so I'm just trying to make this a little bit faster for your viewing pleasure. Just bear with me. I will get better at editing. Okay, what are we doing here now? Okay, putting up all the paints. Trying to think what's next. So I found these beads right after Easter, and they are from Dollar Tree. You will see that I was like, okay, forget it. Let's just pour out all the beads. So yeah, that's the next step. Pour out all your beads. Pull out the beads that you want. And then this is just a round of beads, black beads from Dollar Tree, of course. The beads from Easter, I want to say I paid like 25 cents a bag for those. So yeah, I grabbed several of those bags. Didn't think that they would come in handy at Halloween, but you know, hey, work with what you got. I like getting the, you know, hitting up those after season sales and, you know, just stocking up on a few things. Makes it a little bit cheaper when you're putting together a project. And there's a lot of things that you can, right now I'm just going through and, you know, trying to figure out my pattern. But there's a lot of seasonal things that you can interchange between seasons. Now I was going to use jute to string these, but I want it to bring a little bit more color to our little ghost friend here. And you will find out that this is a girl ghost, hence the pink beads. We're kind of doing the pink and black Halloween thing on this one. And she turns out so adorable. Now, when I'm cutting right there, which I do see that I get out of frame quite a bit, again, you know, learning curve. The sheet that I'm cutting what's basically the little banners from it was from a textured sheet set that I purchased from Temu, which I was not entirely happy about because it was like, excuse me, only half of the papers were actually textured. The other ones only were like a textured looking print. So, it is what it is. Live and learn. I love Temu, but that's one of the things I won't be buying from Temu. It was kind of like a burlap-ish like sheet, but it was kind of it has kind of a mauvey pink color to it. Okay, here I'm grabbing just some yarn just regular crochet yarn. And that yarn, I'm pretty sure I bought from, it was one of those multicolored strands, or skeins, or whatever it's called, from Walmart. More than likely didn't pay full price, because I know me. And, okay, so I did add a little bit of hot glue at the end of the yarn to, you know, about, I would say about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch long, to make kind of a like needle-like point to be able to string the beads on. And then I just hot glue, which I ordered a new glue gun because mine is toast. So I added a little hot glue on the back, just wrapped it around once, add a little more glue, flip her back over, kind of adjusting my beads. And I don't want to attach it down just yet because I just want to make sure everything's in place like it should be. So here you see that I'm kind of playing with the placement. I'm trying to bend the top of those little, this part was a little bit tricky, trying to get that on there because it kept wanting to flip back up because it was more of a stiffer material. And yes, we're using hot glue, and so even though I have little fingertip protectors from Dollar Tree, I don't know where they're at quite yet, so I'm not exactly fully organized in my craft area. So I was just really careful when folding those over. It was hard getting those to not fray even more while I was attaching them, but just being very careful and working with it the best that I can. Okay, now that I had those glued down, I'm attaching the other side. Just cut off the end, wrapped it around a couple times, put a little hot glue, glued that down. And there, she's starting to come together. Okay, and at some point in time I had stopped the video. I had cut some different types of fabric, or not fabric, but what do you call it? Ribbons, to make a little bow, just a little messy bow. And I just used a piece of the yarn to tie it all together. Most of the ribbons, I would say, either came from Dollar Tree, they were thrifted, or Dollar Tree thrifted, or trying to think here. Okay, there was 2 textured pieces. I used one piece. The base piece was the same as the little banner pieces. And then there was another piece that kind of looked like a spider webbed, excuse me, like a spider webbed effect. I used a little piece of that, kind of cut it a little thicker, and then just crisscrossed all my bows, or all my ribbons on top. Here I am tying it together. I tied it several times because I didn't want it to come apart. And just playing around with the placement. At first I thought put it right where the little hanger thing was, but yeah, that just looked like sprigs of funky color hair, and I didn't want it to look like that, so I moved it over to the side. Now, what I did here is, excuse me, I had some little like bling wrap that I added. It's the diamond wrap from Dollar Tree. I had put some of that in the messy bow itself. I just cut it in half and placed it in the messy bow. But then I cut like, how can I explain it? I cut it long ways, but only cut like 2 rows to place in the middle to just kind of cover up and clean up the middle of the messy bow. And wrapped it around and then attached it to our little ghostie here. She's looking so cute. Okay, now here's the real fun part. So I thought I was going to use that painter's pen to write Boo on the banner. That first pen was apparently dried up, so could not get it to write. Tappy, 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 trying to get something to come out, and nope, dry as a bone, so that didn't really work. So we're about to switch over to another one. That first one was the ultra fine tip. This one is just the regular fine tip. These paint pens were purchased at Walmart. Let me see if they have a brand name on them or one that I can see. Yeah, all it says is Painters. It's just a painter's pen. And that did not work, so trying to think of another idea. Let's see, what is this? Okay, so I got out a little nail art kit that had different size little diamond looking pieces, and I thought that'd be really cute to spell out Boo in diamonds. So playing around with that, and yeah, decided to dump some out. I'm trying to put them in some sort of order. This part was just, yeah, it was grueling. Yeah, so there I finally got Boo written out. And then I'm taking a piece of painter's tape and just going over the top so I can pull it up at once. And in theory, I thought, that's a great idea. And then I put hot glue on the back. Just on the back of the letter, or the little diamond pieces. Now, mind you, I don't have a fine tip on my glue gun, so this came out kind of messy. It was an absolute... I'm about to say it. It was an absolute fail. Picky, picky, picky. Let's get all that glue off of there. Now, what can we try? Nail glue that we could not get to open. So I had to get my needle nose pliers. Twisty, twisty. Finally got it to open, but not with the nozzle. The nozzle was stuck in the lid. So I decided to pour a little bit of that. I mean, I know I'm out of frame. I'm sorry. I poured a little bit of the glue on there and tried to stick it, and well, as you probably guessed, that didn't work either. Because now I just have my gems glued to the painter's tape. Okay, so I get up to look around. I'm like, okay, what else can I do here? What else can I do here? And I found this little buffalo check, pink buffalo check ribbon. I believe that one was definitely a thrifted one. So I grabbed that, cut out little tiny squares that are just a little smaller than the banner pieces, placed them on there, and I found these stickers, these letter stickers. I believe these came from Walmart, and just spelled out Boo. They are little silver letters. They don't stand out quite like I originally envisioned, but I mean, I tried a few different options and it just was not working. So when it doesn't work, what do? We pivot. So I had to do a couple pivots when it came to this part. Yeah, and my stickers were not, I guess they got too hot because my craft room is in my garage. So, like, they didn't come off all that perfect. I had to mess with them. So I just put a little bit of hot glue on the back of them and placed them on I found out that it was easier to place it first on the pink gingham ribbon and then place the ribbon, hot glue the ribbon to, hot glue the letter to the ribbon and then hot glue the ribbon to the banner. And there's our little ghostie. Isn't she so cute? Hope you enjoyed.